Oh yeah. Hey everyone. Happy Friday. Let me get everybody in here. Hope everyone's doing well. It's already another Friday. Boy, this week really flew by.
He did. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Out of here.
Let's see. Everybody doing good?
My stupid dog kept waking me up at 3 and going forward, so I'm a little tired, but hey Tom.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Excuse me, Mr. Nation.
You can just call me Mr. Tab.
Okay, yeah, nice.
That helps.
It's funny that like Tab Nations basically became like my nickname, where if someone says, "Hey, Tab Nation," I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi."
I think it only happened once, maybe more than once, but once I remember where I was actually out at a store in town, and not here, but when I lived in Dallas, and someone recognized me. They're like,
wow.
"Hey, you're that guy." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, like, cool. I'm someone. Yay!
Yeah. Your
I felt like
status has
Steve-
moved up in the world.
Yeah, Steve Martin on the movie The Jerk, when he finally gets his name in the phone book, and then
Yeah.
he quickly
Oh
gets
yeah.
targeted for assassination. This guy hates cans. Anyway,
I still don't know who it is, but I think I told you this a long time ago, about a year ago. I have a Taco Bell outside my neighborhood, and I was walking there because it was so nice out. And I'm walking back, and there's this major road right there. And someone drove by, tinted windows. Window was only down like maybe a foot. So I didn't even see who it was, but they just shouted out. They're like, Tab Nation.
And then
Wow.
okay.
I was like, okay, is it someone who knows me from my channel? Do I actually know them? Like, I have no
or are
clue
they
who
just
it was.
randomly driving around places screaming "Damnation" out there?
Yeah, it was like the weirdest thing. I was like, okay. I just like waved. I was like, I have no clue. I don't recognize the car or anything.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I see a question in the YouTube chat here, which I'm not sure. I think I know what you meant, but SK asked, would it be hard to automate uploading? Excuse me, to an app on an Android emulator? I think you need to explain what you mean by uploading. The uploading is what was throwing me.
I understand more or less what he's referring to. So say, for example, that you have an app on Android that takes in files for any processing, whatever. And he's asking whether he could do that. What I'm assuming, obviously, is from the computer. So you're on the computer, you connect your phone, you want to pass a file to the Android emulator, to that app, so that it actually goes ahead and process it. That's what I understand by the question. Now, two things. The app itself must have an intent, is what is called in Android. An intent is something that you intend to do, and most apps do that. And usually you would use ADB, the ADB bridge that you use for connecting to it, to launch an intent on an app. That might be the way to go. The only thing is that it's not as straightforward as you might think. So yes, is technically possible. It is a complicated topic, and it depends a lot on the app, whether they have an intent for that.
He added a bit more. Let's say you have Instagram on your Android emulator. Would it be hard to upload a video from there?
Yes. So it is basically what I was thinking. Instagram, for example, does have an intent. Now, apps like Instagram might have some safeguarding in place so that you cannot upload many images one after the other to prevent spamming or something like that. But technically is possible. You would have to look into ADB bridge, and with AutoHotkey, if you're using AutoHotkey, it would be using the command line to shoot an ADB bridge command that would send the file to that app. So that's what I would think about doing, but the whole process is more complex than you might realize, because the connection to the phone itself is just a topic. I just changed my phone to different phone because I lost mine, and I need drivers for it to connect. So ADB is not working on that. So it might be a little bit more complicated than you think.
Connie mentioned in the chat here, he's wanting to toggle his Bluetooth, and they said he looked at what WMI but didn't find an interface. But I'm like, WMI, you can't set things, can you? Like,
No, it gives you information. Yeah. So with WMI, you can tell what the Bluetooth device is, or probably its ID for you to do something, but then you would have to do it yourself. Toggling devices like this is tricky in AutoHotkey. I don't remember seeing many scripts that do this. I think there are. I think you talked about one. Yeah.
Ace, I think I would restate what you said in that it's hard for us to do it programmatically the way we would normally do it, right? Like you almost have to revert to imitating.
You would need a DLL call or something. You would have to use the Windows API to do that. So it's not, that's another question. It's not straightforward. I think I saw some functions on the forum that did something similar. I'm not really sure if it is that. Now, the simple thing that you can do is bring up the settings window with the run command and then just do it yourself. Just click on that.
Isaias, remember I forget the name of it, but I think you got to it from your process launch
Manager.
Explorer. Yeah. The tool where you could watch and see what happens to things, like when you change a program, like you can see what it's doing. Perhaps we could use like that tool to turn, see if we see any settings change, right? Because I was wondering in the registry might be a way to figure out what changed, or somewhere else, but that tool might show us.
That is a good question. So let me.
Did you see Tom's post?
Tom's post?
That's the simple way of doing it.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work on Windows 11. At least not for me. And
okay.
What
and Windows 11, it depends on how many devices you have, on how many tabs you need to send, which is
the send. I was going to say that you have to play with for that. The run might have to be changed. Unfortunately, I can't get Windows 11 on my computer. They don't support my
I think it's
graphics card, unfortunately, for some odd reason.
I think that doesn't change. I think if you use MS settings, it would open in Windows 11 too. But again, that was exactly what I was referring to. You could open the settings window and then manually click on one of them. Regarding activating a specific one, then you can go ahead and build some logic, image search, or anything that finds the one that you want, and then just try to toggle it, which I
would love to have Windows 11 for testing, but my graphics card, apparently they don't like it.
But can't you have a virtual box that has Windows 11? I think that's what Joe does.
Okay.
So he installs a virtual box, and there's a setting that you can set up to emulate it. Now, what you could do, basically the algorithm, let me share my screen for a second here. Connie is, and just a quick question, Connie. The script that tap send, it opens this window, but it doesn't click on the correct one. Is that right?
That screen's changed quite a bit.
It has changed, but it opens this screen. It opens the Bluetooth and other devices screen.
Yes, it does.
All right. Now, what you would have to do is probably take a screenshot of this icon and then have it so that it searched for the icon in this screen. If it doesn't find it, it scrolls a little bit. It keeps searching until it finds the image, and then just send a click there. That might be a quick solution, but again, one of the issues is your image searching. So that is not 100% reliable unless you make it black and white. I think Joe and we were discussing that. Hey, when you're searching for images, one of the things that change a lot is the color of it. But if you make it so that it is black and white and you're just looking for the shape, it might be really reliable. And so just take a screenshot of the Bluetooth icon, make it black and white, and then just search for the black and white shape, and then just click wherever it finds it. I think that's probably a solution. But basically, no, there are no, or we could take a look at what happens when you click on this button, which is what Joe was talking about. There are some tools that, but I'm not sure about
curious
that.
If did you look at UIA? Does it show at all anything in there? Like I've never tried on a window like that.
Either. That's true.
No, I haven't.
Because it possibly, especially because it's built by Windows, they might have spent a lot of time actually doing it right, quote unquote, right, as far as Microsoft.
Might happen. Yeah, but this is the one that Joe is referring to. Is called Process Monitor, and it monitors what each process is doing every single second, and you can see that how many events they're going since I opened it. So it is just an insane amount of events going on. So you would have to filter it correctly, probably by this thing, And once you click, see what happens. That might be another solution, but I'm not really sure about that. So,
Well, it turns out that it's pretty easy to toggle from the taskbar, just a couple of clicks. So
yeah, you might not spend that much time just to do that one thing. Yeah,
that's right.
that might be another. Right.
The previously I had a button that I assigned that did the same thing. That it's the same script that Tab gave us, and it works great. But now it doesn't. And just thought I'd ask while
All
we're
right.
find out what Mike wants.
Right. Anybody else have any questions?
No, I just saw a question somewhere. I think it was on YouTube.
Right, I see it.
It was where was it?
They wanted a list of all running major applications, which okay, let's spend an hour talking about that. But anyway, and then have checkboxes and then be able to terminate them. I'm sure that exists on the AutoHotkey forum, like honestly. But yeah, you can get a list of running programs and then.
How about the task manager? So you cannot select multiple programs and close them at once, like the original task manager from Windows. I think you can. The only thing is that what I do is that I replace my task manager with the one from, this is from Windows as well, from sysinternals. It's called Process Explorer, and that allows me to select several of them and then just close them. That I
So to your point, Isaiah, which let me.
Because it does have an end, but I'm not sure if you can select multiple. Right
Well,
now,
but
I'm trying to select a few and I can't.
yeah, but there's a and I thought I had a pretty link for it, but apparently I don't. I don't understand. But let me share my screen. So this, which I'll find the link and give it in a bit.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, this is an AutoHotkey script that's a task manager. So it's already got a lot of the stuff, right?
And it says end processes. So it has the ES at the end at the top on the button. And I would assume that you can select multiple ones and then just select. And
Well, my point is, even if it didn't, you could change it to adapt it because it's in
right.
AutoHotkey.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me find. I swear I would have had I'm just really surprised I didn't see it in my list of stuff. That's weird, and apparently I didn't well, I'll find it. I'll put the link up here in a bit.
All right. Anybody else? Let me see. A roadmap. Can I have a roadmap of
To get to Oregon? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just basically, you know, you can use AutoHotkey, get a list of all the running programs, throw it into a list view.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
checkboxes and then do from memory, I'd say there's a two-step approach of like you could try to close it gracefully, that if it doesn't work,
then you have the kill, yeah, the
yeah.
win kill. That's right. You can use the process close, which is what Tap Nation just typed on the YouTube chat, or you can use the win kill, which I think kills, or I think process kill as well. That's the other.
And you could that's just an example with Firefox. You could get rid of Firefox, have it a variable based on whatever checkboxes were clicked, and just kind of loop through those, killing each process until it runs out of, you know, however many you checked. So it could be process close dash you know, percent signs variable, you know, whatever.
That's right. And you can get the same process command. There's one of the parameters that is called process list, which gives you a list in a variable of all the running processes. So again, what Joe is saying, like just get the list, put it in a list view, is not that hard to do. And then just on the list view, if you haven't worked with GUIs, we have a GUIs course that give you some information about how you can work with GUIs in general. One of the things that we have to talk about is how to select things and react to them while they're selected, or if they have check marks as well, you can get the rest of the checked ones.
And in case people don't know, if you're lazy like me when it comes to GUI design, or you want something fast and simple, there's something called GUI Smart Creator. As far as I know, it's only in V1 right now. I don't know if he's ever updated it to V2 or even still working on it, but I use it all the time. You can literally make a GUI, at least the visual part of it, in like minutes. Now, after that, you know, the functionality is really up to you on how that's going to play out.
Yeah, they cannot assume what you want the GUI to do, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but I tell people it's like the Windows Paint of GUIs, because you're literally just drawing boxes and dragging it to where you want, and then you say, "Give me the code,"
and it gives you the code. Yeah, that's cool.
I thought you were going to say ChatGPT, which I've had great stuff, and it's not horrible. I mean, for version 1, and you know, if you're using ChatGPT 4,
I don't know if I would use it for GUI creation. I mean, it could give you, but then it's not going to know your X and Y coordinates. I'll have to try that out. Now I'm curious of how well it would create a GUI with my here's what I want in my GUI, create one and see what it does.
And I know, because we see a lot of stuff where people use some sort of a GUI builder, and then everything is static. All the things, and when you go to move something, and it's just a horrible experience, because now everything is just given coordinates and it's not set up to be adjustable in any way.
Right. So now, as soon as you add a new control or remove a control, your whole GUI looks weird. That's something that you have to keep in mind when those builders.
And especially if you have any sort of a DPI other than 100%, right? I mean, that's where it really gets to be problematic.
Really annoying. Yeah, that's right.
Cool. All right. Anyone else got anything they're working on?
Give me 1 second, guys.
It's Good Friday. Everybody's doing whatever it is you do on Good Friday. I don't even know.
I like to aim higher. It's Great Friday. That's
Great Friday.
Yeah, I have a question. Can I ask?
Of course.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was developing a script and I use WinGetText, and it's not working correctly when the target window is loading some data in it. So how can I wait and so that that specific window is loaded fully, and I think after that WinGetText will work fine. So
Can you share your screen? Can we see it?
Yeah, it can take up to 1 to 2 minutes, and then yeah, that would be great. Thanks. I'm opening the application.
Okay, gotcha. All right, sorry. Yeah, cool. Because it's really hard. We need to know a bit more about like what program you're trying to control to really be able to give you. But you're absolutely right in the sense of what we want to do is don't have a 2-minute sleep or however long sleep, right? You're like, oh my God, that's a horrible solution. It's quick and dirty, but it, especially on different computers and everything, it really is not a good solution. What's better is to be able to programmatically wait and check to see if something exists. And then once it exists, then we do it. But that's where it really, every approach depends on the program you're trying to examine. And that's why we kind of need to either see it or we need to understand what program it is to really get that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have opened the program and it's loading. It's taking some time.
And there's no personal information on it?
Yeah, no.
Okay, good.
In the meantime, I guess, real quick, I'm done, I think, with beta testing with the Chrome companion extension, I'm calling it now. So my goal is April 16th for the actual Chrome store full public release.
Nice.
So thanks for everybody for all the input and whatnot. I'll still take input, obviously, the whole time, but yeah, I think April 16th, that Sunday, I'm gonna throw it out there.
All right.
The day after tax day, is that the plan?
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. Anybody else is working on something that need help with? Kylie.
Okay, I'm ready. So I'm going to share my screen now.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me know when you can see.
We're good.
Now I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, look here. I want to extract this community and this unit. When this is unresponsive like this, when I click some name here, Robert Towns, and at this point, while it is loading, when I try to do winget text, it doesn't work, and subsequent winget text will not work after that. I mean, why is that? If I reload the script,
Just so
it
you
will
know,
work.
you are showing a lot of personal data here. I don't know if it matters or not. I just want to make sure you remember.
Yeah, I think you can ignore if you think that it is very personal.
No, the thing is not about ignoring the things that this is on YouTube. Right now, this is being streamed live. I think so. You can stop sharing now. I think I get your idea. And stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
basically, you're trying to get text from a control, and it works, but not when it is loading. Is that right?
I'm getting the text through winget text, and I'm not
Mhm.
able to get it using the specific element because that element is not working. I mean, when I try to grab it through the element, it isn't working. I try to access
So
the element name, but that doesn't exist for that specific window.
and you're using UIA. I'm sorry. You're using window accessibility because you're talking about the element name.
Yeah. I'm using the software provided by I mean,
The Scolada.
yeah, provided by the Automator. Let me tell you the exact name. I
Yeah, please.
didn't remember. Yeah, just
All right. It's okay. Because there are different ways for you to get text out of a screen. If the GUI is a normal Windows GUI, you can do
Yes.
it with the control get text. Is that the one that you're using? And that's a normal command.
I think
from
the
AutoHotkey.
program name is the current program is Windows Spy. The one developed by the Automator. I don't know the name. Can you remind us?
There's a Simple
What
Spy
was-
one.
Right. Yeah, that's the Simple Spy. Okay.
Yeah, Simple Spy. You're right. So
Alright,
I was grabbing it through the Simple Spy. Yeah.
All right, let's do this. On your program, go ahead and remove the person so that it doesn't show up name or address or anything. Just open a blank one. Can you open a blank one that doesn't show any personal information? So I can check something out real quick. If it is possible to open it without any person selected.
Let me try that.
Or if you're able to create like a fake.
Person, yeah, you can create a
Or if you have our
profile.
screen clipping tool, just cover the personal data. You know, that'd be
Right.
super easy to move something over it.
Yeah, I think I have a solution for that.
Okay.
And let me share my screen again. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I simply move the window to the downside. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have shared my screen again. So if I drag this here, look at this. We are not able to detect this specific drop down.
Right. Okay. That's part of, that is part of what we are trying to get at. This looks like a normal window, but it might not be. There are some different types of controls there.
Correct. That's the
where,
part.
right. So that's where using something like the UI automation library, which is UIA, might come in handy. Windows Spy gives you the basic window controls, but that's Windows Spy and Simple Spy, right? But the
Mhm.
UIA gives you a different way of connecting to those controls, which might work. Not always.
And still we can do that using AutoHotkey. And that
Yes.
is going to give us this specific element information that we can use in our
Yes.
script.
Yes,
Excellent.
but hold on. Yes,
Yeah.
but it's not that simple. So yeah,
Right.
you can still do it with AutoHotkey, but it's not as easy as if you were doing it with this type of controls. And we have to verify if we even can. Some programs even don't have that connection either. So what you would have to do is go to github.com and look for Descolada. You can try that right now. And if you look for Descolada, you will see one of them that says UI automation. Can you open a
Right.
web browser?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just go to github.com and then look for Descolada.
You go to the URL over my head too. It'll take you to the.
Okay, yeah, you can use that URL that Joe has on over his head. Gives you that. So go to the automator.com/UIA git.
Okay.
The automator.com. You have to put the at the beginning. The dash automator at the beginning. Right. Yeah. .com/UIA git. UIA GIT. Yeah. Just hit that. That will take you straight to the UIA GitHub. That's the one that I was going to look for. And you see where it says code, just click there. Where it says code, just click there and get the zip file, the one at the bottom that says download zip.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Start unload and open it. So this one, what we want to do, there's one of them that says UIA viewer. So if you enter there, you should get one, the UIA viewer. That's the one that I want you to run. And we will quickly tell whether we can use that or not. So open up the program that you want and then hit F1.
Okay, so do I need to activate UI Viewer first? After that,
just hit F1.
Okay.
And now, all right, go to the program that you want. Just click on it. And now you see that if you hover the mouse, just go a little bit deeper, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, but
no, hold on.
But it's still not activating. Yeah.
No. I saw it activating. So I just asked for control because I saw this one. You see that? Hold on. You see that one?
Yeah, I can see.
Getting, and this one here, very likely there's a way to get it too. So, but again, this one, at least, even if I cannot get it from here, I can go ahead and get it from the left side here. So very likely I should be able to, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, sometimes when you want to fine tune, you navigate with
yeah, I just do this, wait for it to, and then hit escape so it stops capturing. But then I could try and see if I could get there. I get the task list, backward, forward, community. And in community, there it is. You see, so I can get it. Now,
great.
So you can try with this tool. Remember, F1 starts capturing, so you can hover over. You get the element that you want, and after you get kind of like the tree view on the left, then you hit escape so that it doesn't move anymore, and then you try to get to where you want to get. But again, this doesn't mean that you will be able to. It just means that it has a little bit of a higher chance of being able to gather the information that you want. But after you get it, what happens is that it gets a little bit trickier. So
I mean, still, even if we have the exact name of the element, still we will not be able to extract the value. That's what you mean?
No, we can, if you can get it, but you can find the element, start capturing, get the element that you want. Let's say this one here. Let's see, hold on. It's not getting there.
Yeah, I think I can access that element using this UI viewer. And what's the
But
next step?
here's the
So
thing,
then
just hit,
simply, right.
can you hit print screen on your, on your
Keyboard.
keyboard?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can do that.
try that. There it
Yeah.
is. You see that it gave you some code? Now that code, if you copy paste it, you will be able to connect. This is a click button here. So it's saying, hey, find it and then click it. But probably you don't want to click it. You probably want to get the value of it. So probably, I don't know how it works in V1, but in V2, you could get the value like this. But this is the problem. This is the part that I am trying to explain. It is trickier to work with UIA. It gives
Right.
you a lot of power,
Mhm.
but it's not straightforward as you might be used to. So I would recommend watching the videos that we have done.
I mean,
on UIA.
this method is much smoother. I was able to do it applying a little weight or detecting an image for waiting for the element to load. I mean, there are other ways we can do it, but
Yeah.
I wanted to explore this one. So if
Yeah,
we
so
could,
this whole topic is called UIA, like UI automation. And in that case, we have a few videos you might want to explore. It is a topic that is a little bit deep. It's not that simple, but once you get the idea of it, you can do very cool stuff in programs that usually Windows Spy doesn't work. So if Windows Spy doesn't work, my next step is UIA. That's how I use.
I think I have the course downloaded. I mean, created by Joe. So if that contains this,
It doesn't.
Which
so
course? I don't think any of the courses. We haven't done a
This is
course on UIA yet.
It's a really advanced topic.
Right. We
Right,
don't.
right,
We haven't
okay.
done that. But we have
And
YouTube
the UIA
videos.
library is very new. It's
Right.
like maybe 7 months, ago. It wasn't available. Well, there was an older version that wasn't very functional, but now there's a newer version that's far more powerful, and that's really new.
Right.
So we haven't done anything with it yet, other than make a lot of tutorial videos.
Videos on YouTube.
So
they're not.
are you
courses.
planning to include this in your next tutorials? I mean, next course?
That's the
Not our
problem.
next
Again, as Joe said, this is a very advanced topic. Not many people are going to be diving into it, but
Right.
we do have videos on YouTube that cover the basics of it. Regarding a course, we don't know yet. We have other.
Also,
courses.
although it's settling down, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Descolada's been working on it. It's out of beta now, I think, right? Like where it's not likely to change as much, but it still is changing. And I don't want to create a course and then all of a sudden the tool changes and like, you know what, now it's broken. So at some point we will get around to it. Don't get me wrong, because as I was saying, it's incredibly powerful. Yeah. But the two things he mentioned, like it's also being developed still, and it's pretty advanced. So you can do some basic stuff with it, but the second you start trying to do more advanced stuff, it's far steeper of a learning curve.
Right. Great. Thank you very much for your help. I think I can explore it further from here. So if you want to add anything else, I'm here to listen.
Right. I think you got a lot of you got a good pointer to work with the one that you need to. It's just a matter of how much time you have available to learn, and how frustration tolerant you are, because this is really a frustrating topic because it's not really straightforward. That's all.
Let me put it this way. Isaias is one of the most advanced people I know in AutoHotkey, and even for him, it takes a while to figure out how to do something. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody that builds, it's kind of like a website. When people build the UIA stuff, they do it differently in how they implement it. And so it's a lot of investigation and kind of figuring it out. We can't just teach you, here it is, because it's like a web page. They, the guts are the same, but how they actually build it are different. And then you have to adapt your program to that.
Yeah. But the one thing that is good, the one thing that is good at is that once you get it working, it's really stable. Like I wouldn't expect like a lot of errors from this type of code. It is way better. That's all.
Yeah, I also tested it with the UiPath or other IPA tools. They were not able to extract that specific value. So if AutoHotkey can do even with the UI, if we were, that would be great.
Yeah. Now, notice that, let me go ahead and point this out, and there's a good segue into the next topic. For you to use this method right here that says UIA element from handle, before you
Right.
can use that, you have to include the library. You see that?
Yeah,
And
I can see
I
that.
saw somebody, I think it was Kylie on the group chat, talking about that she's on a rabbit hole for the includes. Two things about the includes. The include is simply a copy paste. That's the best way to describe it. When you include a file like this, what you're doing is copying the file, wherever it's located at, and pasting it exactly on that position on your code. That's what it's doing. Now, you can see, and this is mainly for Kylie, you can see that he has some brackets there. I don't know if you can see those two brackets there.
Yeah, I
And
can see
what-
that.
Right. That has a special meaning on an include. So if you can stop sharing the screen for a second, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about those, because that's the only weird thing about the includes. Anything else is very easy. So let's go ahead and share my screen real quick. I don't know if Kylie's there, but if you're not there, you can also watch the recording. But basically, let's go ahead and do this. Let's create a script that is called that it does a message box. This is a test. Save it into the desktop, test.ahk. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy the path of that file. So I have the file, and what I'm going to do is just include that file into my script. As I mentioned, this just simply goes ahead and copies that and pastes it here. Whatever that script is doing, it is going to try to do it. So even if my code has nothing in it, as I'm copying another script, if I run this, I'm going to get the message box, because again, it is copy pasting it and it's trying to execute it.
You can think of it as like a Go sub or something, right? Like
Yeah,
it literally,
definitely.
Yeah, Joe have actually, I mean, in its initial lectures, mentioned this part
Yes. Now,
in the course. Yeah.
here's the problem. Sometimes, sorry, there are 3 locations in your computer that are read automatically by the include folder. Those 3 locations are, so let's say that you have the test script, right? Right next to the text script, there might be a lib folder like this. If you have a lib folder in there, that location gets read automatically by the include. I will show you how in a second. The other location is your documents. On your documents, if you have an AutoHotkey lib folder, that AutoHotkey lib folder, documents, AutoHotkey lib, that's the second location that gets read automatically. And the third location is where AutoHotkey is installed. In my case, program files AutoHotkey. In there might be also a lib folder. Those are the 3 locations that get read automatically. What do I mean by that? My script, the one that I'm just working with here. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. But let's go back here. Let's see if I could just open it with Notepad, because it's easier here. If I say include with brackets like this, my test.ahk, oh, well, without the HK, the brackets act as, hey, look on the lib folders for any AHK file called my test. So if I put here a file named my test.ahk that contains, let's have it in here. This is the my test file. That's what it has. On my script, if I include it, it's going to try to find it first on the lib folder that is right next to the script. If it doesn't find it there, it will look for it on the AutoHotkey and the documents AutoHotkey lib folder. And if it doesn't find it there, it will go ahead and look for it on the AutoHotkey folder where it was installed on the thing. So as you can tell, this is really powerful, the brackets, because it just go ahead, changes it search automatically on certain locations. That's what it does.
I think
don't
there
want it
is
to
the
automatically
fourth place.
search.
I think there is the fourth place where it's also going to look in the current directory of the script, isn't it?
That's the first one. So the first one is on the current directory where the lib.
I mean,
folder
even
is.
if it is not in the lib folder, but
No,
in the
no,
script
no,
directory.
no, that doesn't work. No. So
Okay.
if you have the my test file here and you
Yes.
don't have a lib folder,
Yes.
this is not going to work because that doesn't look there. Now, if you remove the brackets, yes, that works.
Okay.
But the brackets only look for in those 3 locations that I mentioned.
Right.
Right. So in that case, that's the only thing that you have to learn about includes. It just, the only difference is if you have a lib folder, it searches for it automatically. If you have the brackets, if you don't want it to automatically look for 3 locations, then just put the whole path, and that's also going to work just fine. So just copy the path, copy as path, put it there without the quotation marks in V1, and that will work just fine too.
So
I hope-
what will happen? Just our scenario I'm going to mention. What will happen if we have the same file? I mean, with the same name, but in the 2 lib folders.
The one on the right next to the script takes precedence, or it might also kind of like tell you that it's duplicate, but I think the first one takes precedence over it. Here it goes. So if I do
Let's try
that,
it.
yeah. So if I have the my test also in the documents lib folder, so I have it both, it takes the one that is right next to the script. So let's do this. This one, I'm going to modify my test in documents. And this one here is going to say my test in right next to script. So at this point, if I run my script, save, right? So if I run it, it will ask me and it will say right next to the script, but that's it. It's not going to grab the other one on the documents. As soon as it is found, it's just going to stop there. That's it.
Can we force our script to load the second one, or we just need to change the name?
No, you can either change the name or just put the full path, because
Right.
this is for automatic looking. But if you want to force it to use the one on the documents, then go there, grab the path, right click, grab the path, and then just put the full path there. That's it. Now I'm forcing it to use one, and when I double click, I get the one in the documents instead. So you can do that, but don't use the brackets. The brackets
Right.
is an automatic search. That's what is going on. I hope that makes sense for anybody who is trying to learn how to include files. That's basically it. That's what it does. And it is, again, the best way to describe it for me that makes sense is just copy paste. You just have to tell the.
Yes, that makes complete sense. Yeah,
Right.
You just explained it really well. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
So Kylie still has a follow-up question.
Okay.
Kylie, would you go ahead and
I'm not, hiya, I'm not sure if mine, like that was really, really helpful. And I think if I go back and try all of that, I think that would really, really help me. But I wasn't sure whether or not I was kind of getting confused with V1, V2, brackets and quotations and
Don't
I
worry.
also wasn't sure and
No.
I also wasn't sure if I even downloaded the kind of I'll show you my screen, and this is kind of
Okay.
where so I've been just trying to play around with some of these really cool scripts, but I'm kind of getting these kind of errors where it says that the UIA AHK cannot be opened,
Right.
and so the more I was like pulling apart in the kind of forums, I think the more I was just getting myself all muddled up. So
I understand. Yeah. So here I see that you're using B2 because the error messages, you see this yellow line, that is not in
Okay.
V1. So you are on AutoHotkey V2. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second part is where, so the file, the error, let me annotate here.
I mean, there's a few errors on, like I just screen grabbed a few of my errors. I think there was loads of errors.
Don't worry. But here, for example, where you're looking for test2.hk is
Yeah.
trying to open the uia.hk file right
Yeah.
next to that script.
Okay.
So if it is not right next to it, it's not going to work. Can you open the test file, please? Let me see how what the include file looks like.
I really don't know. I mean, they're all over the place. They're not super organized, which is not going to be helpful for you guys.
Don't worry. But
So, ooh, I don't really know. Oh, actually, possibly this one.
all right. So right click on that one, on the test2. Right click and edit it, edit the script. And what I'm looking for is, how is it? So look at this. If you put only include UIA, it will expect that file to be right next to the script. If you put the brackets though, if you now put the brackets, it should work. Can you try that?
These are like curly brackets?
The angle brackets, no, the
Less
ones
than
that
and greater than.
greater than, and yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, those two, right?
But you want to lose the .ahk, right?
Yeah, you have to remove the .ahk. You save that. Now, if you try to run it again, you shouldn't get at least that error. So do the V2. Yeah. Now you get a different error. The first error is not the one that failed. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah,
Right.
perfect.
But that fixes it, because now if you exit the app right here,
yeah,
you exit it. Right. So now what happens is your test file, and this is what I was just explaining, your text file is here. But as soon as you put the angle brackets that we just mentioned, you're telling it, hey, the UIA file is inside this lib folder. You see it? If you double click there, you will find the UIA.hk file. Can you double click on lib folder? Yeah, there it is. You see? So
yeah,
those angle brackets is just telling it, hey, look on the lib folder right next to my script. That's the first thing. The second error that you're getting is this little guy right here. That, and it happened to me too. It is the path that you're trying to access. It seems to be incorrect for some reason. Okay. And it's not your fault. I think it had to do with the library itself. It happened to me too. But either the Explorer window is not opened, which that's not it, because you would get an error from the method right away if the element was not there. It's just that what you're trying to access is not either visible or is not there right now. So
that's, yeah, I suspected that was going to be the case, but I was just playing with it the other day, and
right.
and I thought, oh, it sounds like this isn't me. It sounds like this is
the example itself, but that's okay. But at least the include error had to do with how you were trying to include the file. As soon as you put the brackets, then it was working because the lib folder is in the right place. But if it was not like that, yeah.
So the laziest way to do the include would be to do, I'm just trying to think, just so you don't like.
That would be the laziest one, because then you can put it in different places and it will work anyways.
Okay, so that would probably be how you would like someone like me who's lazy would always do it like that.
No, not only you, I do that. I just make sure that the
Okay.
lib folder is there. And that's kind of like the best way. The only thing is that you have to make sure that the lib folder is there and that the lib folder contains the file that you want to access.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, perfect.
State that slightly differently. Make sure that the UIA file is in one of those 3 lib folders.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. I know. I was getting so just rabbit holed it so bad.
Well, but the really cool thing, and we didn't dive into the file, but if you were to open one of the UIA files, you'd see a lot of functions all beginning with UIA, right? UIA underscore, and then a new name of a function or a class. Is it classes? I don't remember. But it's another one which is a little steep for the end of this call to try to get into, but it's a great way if you have a lot of related functions, like I do with my Excel library. Then you include one file and you can reference all of your Excel functions, and you don't have to have them